Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hoops After Dark. I am your host, DeAndre Henderson, and with me, as always, is my boy Sam. Yeah, buddy, and my
What's
boy
up?
Mike Cooper, always sick on the sticks. You heard? Tonight, after a fantastic championship game, we saw a lot of defense. We're going to go over the Final Four as a whole. We are also going to be talking about college basketball as a whole, the new hire of Mike Malone at North Carolina. We are going to be talking about some NBA basketball. We are going to be talking some women's hoops today, guys. Hello. We're going to be talking all sorts of different things. So you guys need to make sure before we even get started, you need to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you're giving us all the love so we can keep this train moving. With that being said, let's jump right on into it. After tonight's delicious Michigan championship victory, beating the UConn Huskies, I got to say that was one of a great defensive battle. UConn did just about everything that they could to muck up the game, dirty up the game, get whatever they could out of their team, which they did. They only lost by what, 6 points?
Yeah, it was 69-63 was the final.
And Michigan has been averaging 94 points a game. So if you still hold them way under their average and you only lose by 6 points, Dan Hurley is going nowhere. UConn is going absolutely nowhere. So if you guys think that the 3 years, 4 years in a row now they've been in the Final Four dang near, except for one, this is not going to stop. UConn is not going anywhere. But
No.
neither is Dusty May and those Michigan Wolverines.
Nope.
Let's not get it twisted. Sam, what do you got from tonight, man?
My overall takeaway from this game is sometimes the inevitable is just the inevitable. Sometimes we as sports fans, now there's a lot of times where, especially in March Madness, famously, there's upsets, there's games we don't think can happen, things can happen. Sometimes number one is number one. And if Duke hadn't beat Michigan in that game late in the season, I still think Michigan or Arizona should have been the actual number one overall seed. They were inevitable. They were Thanos. They took an injury to their backup point guard, Kaysen. Didn't matter. Yaxel was feeling sick tonight and also kind of got a little banged up in the last game. Didn't matter. Shout out to UConn. UConn did play a decent game against them. They kept it close. At the same time, this game was close, but did it ever feel like it was UConn's night? Ever?
No.
It never felt like they were going to get there.
I thought early, when they had the lead early, I was like, okay, it's playing at their pace. There maybe they can hold on. That hook and hold towards the end of that first half when they were up 2, ended up like an 8-0 run for Michigan. I was like, okay, the game's over. Once Michigan got in control, once Michigan got on that little run and went in control, I was like, oh.
I thought after that tip dunk at the end of the first half, man, when they had that put back dunk and everyone started going crazy, I said, you know what? Hey, man, UConn is going to really give them a swing in the second half. But at the end of the day, Michigan is huge. They're really good on the defensive end. Their point guard is not making any mistakes whatsoever. And at the end of the day, that's just going to win you ball games. And then today it won you a national title. So shout out to Michigan for that.
Yep.
Dre, fun fact. UConn out-rebounded Michigan, by the way.
That is insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
I thought it's probably the first time all tournament.
46-39. UConn won
probably
the
the first time all tournament.
22 offensive rebounds for UConn.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, Dan Hurley and those Huskies are going absolutely nowhere. If you really think they're going to take this laying down, he is going to use this as fuel. And I'm going to pencil UConn in right now next year into the Elite Eight, going into the Final Four, no doubt.
Yeah.
Dan Hurley's 7-0 in those games, so let's go.
I'll pencil in Michigan losing in the round of 32 next year, because
I don't know.
I mean, they lose a lot of players.
It's not even that. The last 16 champions, it was 16 of the last 17 champions, other than when UConn went back-to-back, have lost in the round of 32.
Yep.
So you can kind of pencil in it's going to be potential Michigan loss round of 32 next year. Unless they break the trend, which they can, but
easily.
Can I give a shout out to a couple more? So like UConn players that had a good game, but good tournament. Alex Caravan, what a hell of a career at UConn for the guy. I think the third or second most winning March Madness college player all time, like second most March Madness wins. He's tied with Bobby Hurley, I think. Just a really, really great career at the University of Connecticut. Shout out to him. I hope he plays well in the NBA. I think he definitely has the size and the shooting ability to make an effect there. Braylon Mullins, we'll get into UConn, Illinois, but Braylon Mullins kind of showed out back in Indiana for the first time. He's a freshman. I don't know if he's going to enter the draft with how loaded this draft class is, but if he stays, I definitely see UConn enjoying his abilities on the floor next year. And yeah, like you said, Danny Hurley has a good program going. They're going to be really, really good. 3 national championship appearances in 4 years. He could have lost all 3. That's still nearly unheard of. So really, really good year from UConn. They really pushed it as far as they could. And they played a decent game. I just think Michigan was better and got the Brady jersey out in honor of Michigan, who I'm not particularly a fan of Michigan by any means, but got to tip my hat to them. And I said at a bar over Thanksgiving with my friends, watching them beat, I think, Gonzaga by 30, that I will not be betting against this team if they're still healthy. In the end, they were still basically healthy. I took them in my personal bracket, and yeah, they didn't let me down. So congratulations to the Wolverines.
Yeah, man. It was a great championship game, but to kind of segue into our next point, the Final Four as a whole, I'm not going to say, we don't love to have these bad types of basketball games, but let's get something straight. It was kind of disappointing and at the end of it all. You had Michigan absolutely beating the doors off of Arizona. Nobody saw that coming because of how good Arizona was. But that is also speaking to the Big Ten. The Big Ten has just had a dominant year. We're talking football and basketball now. And it was just a little bit of a letdown. And Illinois, we mentioned before we started recording, Illinois couldn't hit a freaking shot. So that just completely took them out of their game. Again, it just was UConn just took advantage of Illinois not making shots. They had good looks. They had some really good looks that game. Hook shots that didn't go down, mid-range pull-ups that didn't go down,
Free throws
open threes,
weren't
free
going down
throws.
either.
Michigan tonight showed how important free throws are. They were 25 of 28 from the line tonight.
Free throws win championships.
That's what wins games, man. That's 25 points just at the line. Those are free money. And Michigan hit all of their free money tonight. And so what do you guys think? Disappointment, Final Four as a whole?
I'd agree. I think what was built up is we thought that Michigan-Arizona game was going to be the banger we've been waiting for all season. They've been the best 2 teams in college basketball this season. We thought they'd meet up. It would be an all-time game, all-time Final Four game. And basically would essentially, we weren't counting out UConn and Illinois, but a lot of people I feel like felt like whoever was coming out of that game, and it ended up being true, Michigan came out of that game and won, was going to win the national championship. But we all thought that game would be way more competitive. Instead, Michigan's up 30 with 12 minutes left, and I'm sitting at home with my family, and we're like, do we keep watching this game? We just end this? And then, Illinois couldn't buy a bucket. I think UConn's defensive grittiness was not helping Illinois, but they couldn't. Even their open shots just weren't going in for some reason. I don't know if it was the stadium. I don't know if it, lots of things can go wrong. Sometimes you just can't hit a shot, and that's the way life goes.
Not the way basketball goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the story of supposedly Dusty May had he took his team to the big house and put a portable hoop out there and had them practice shooting outside at the big house on a portable hoop to get them used to shooting in a stadium like that?
I didn't hear that story at all, but that's next level coaching.
I saw it on socials. I wasn't for sure how much, I'm sure he didn't run a full practice out there. If he did, I'd be even more impressed if he brought out the hardwood in the middle of the big house. And, but getting up shots out there is actually very smart. And it's, as anyone who's ever shot a basketball knows, but especially if you've ever shot a basketball you're used to, especially for guys that were just in high school, you have the end of the gym right behind you. You're shooting against basically a wall. Sometimes the depth can be off a little bit or whatever. Maybe you have a stage behind it. It can change it a little bit. And then you get until where you're playing in maybe a nicer like school or you're playing at a low level college arena in like a sectional or like a state game. And all of a sudden that opens up and that affects teams at that level. It's the same thing with college. Yeah, they play in these bigger gyms, but all of a sudden you're playing in Lucas Oil Stadium on the 50-yard line. And instead of, the first row kind of ending and going up, 20 feet away, it's now 200. And it can affect teams. And I don't know if that was the problem with Illinois, if they just couldn't buy a bucket. But that and UConn deciding to finally make their shot. Solo Ball had not shot the ball well all year from behind the arc. And all of a sudden, he is 50%. And I think over these two games, his shooting tonight might have dropped a little bit, but he was 4 of 8 against Illinois. If you're getting that kind of production out of guys you don't expect and the other team isn't shooting well, it's just, never felt like Illinois could get there, and they never did.
Yeah, I mean, Illinois shot 6 out of 26 from 3. You're not winning many games like that. Even to keep it within not keeping it with 9 with how well, UConn was 12 out of 33, so they keep it as close as they did. Props to them. But it was just, that was a UConn only turned the ball over 4 times all night against Illinois. They took care of the ball. They took care of the ball tonight too. They only turned the ball over 8 times or 9 times, I think it was. They didn't really do much to beat themselves.
But those 9 times all turned into buckets, if I remember correctly, man. When your turnovers are starting to turn into buckets, or just a little bit of a momentum swing, because actually I don't think the fast break points were even there like that. But it was...
No, it was 0-0 fast break points.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that. I mean, I didn't feel like the fast break, it never felt to me like it was a really huge part of the game, but 0-0 in any game ever is pretty shocking. Outside of, really youth basketball where the kids are just throwing layups off the bottom of the backboard as hard as they can, just hoping it goes up.
That's a tough one, man. That's this Final Four was a little bit, watching that Arizona game, I was so certain. I locked myself in for that game because I was like, I know this game is going to be off the charts. We're going to get a 81-80 type finish, and bada bing, bada zip, that team's going to go on to win the national title. Granted, that's exactly what happened. Whoever won that game went on to win the national title.
I lied. It was 4-2. It was basically 0.
If they scored none, that's crazy, but 4-2 is still really low.
But the story tonight was, for me, for the championship game, was definitely at the free throw line. My God, I've never seen so many free throws go in. I think the only ones I saw them miss was that front end of that 1-and-1 when there was like a minute left. That was the only thing I remember them missing.
Yeah, they definitely got a Duke whistle tonight. Just put it that way.
They did. Oh, we almost lost the high knees ref too. A UConn player in Montre, who's the guy that played at Illinois and played at Michigan this year, their big guy. I'm blanking on his name in the moment.
Are you talking about Montrez Johnson?
Montrez Johnson, yes, sorry. They got tangled up. Montrez Johnson's a big guy, and they went for the ball, and then they flung into the high knees ref, and we about saw his ACLs go. That would have been a national tragedy.
He said, we can't lose that guy, man. No. We ain't losing my boy.
There is nothing better than the bi-weekly post of that guy getting up some high knees on that first possession. Nothing better.
You're a fool. But
the crazy thing is, like you guys both have mentioned, Michigan was 2 out of 15 from 3. They hit anything, this game is probably a 20-point game.
I'm telling you. And Lindenborg was playing on one leg, but it was really the defense of Michigan. They made them. Michigan is so big. Their center is 7'3". Then you have Lindenborg, who's a point forward. Then the smallest dude on the court was their point guard at 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, man. You're going to have a lot of success when you got a big man, when you can get beat off the dribble and everything at the rim is protected because you have athletes all behind you and a big man with great feet. So
kind of trending the same way as the NBA, where size, now it's still kind of positionless and there's a lot of shooting, but it's no longer as much small ball as it's big guys who can also step out and shoot and handle the ball.
I blame Wemby.
I blame Kevin Durant almost, but Michigan was kind of built that way. Illinois was built that way. A lot of teams kind of felt like they were physically bigger, but they were still stepping out and they weren't playing like bang it down low inside ball, but they were just physically more big. And I think Michigan just overall in terms of physicality and experience and consistency won over the year. I think Arizona could have been right there too, but in the one game where that consistency and everything had to show, it just didn't.
Tommy Lloyd was too busy trying to get a contract from North Carolina to get his team prepared against Dusty May.
Tommy Lloyd was too busy trying to combat Desiree Reed Francois, who was the athletic director at Mizzou and also left town. And if you notice in his contract, he no longer has to report to the athletic director. Says a lot about her leadership of Arizona.
She
We
was
gonna move
also she
on
was she
because
left
holy shit.
she went to Missouri from UNLV.
Yes, she did.
She botched the Chris Beard hire at UNLV, if I remember correctly.
Speaking of North Carolina, they finally replaced their coach today with Mike Malone, former, who was his last team? Denver Nuggets.
Denver. He got screwed by the Nuggets.
Denver let him go like a week before the playoffs last year.
Yeah. And every time something like that happens, I always think there's two sides of that story. I got to hear both sides of that coin before I truly have an opinion about it.
Didn't they fire him and Calvin Booth at the same time? They fired him and the GM.
I don't know if maybe. I don't remember if it was that.
I don't remember.
The Grizzlies also fired their head coach too. I remember really late. But yeah, there was definitely like disgruntlement between ownership and
exactly.
Malone.
There's friction. There was friction everywhere. And when that kind of thing happens so late in the season, they were in the playoffs. It's not like the Nuggets were not making the playoffs. They were contending. So there's always two sides of that story. I'm not going to say anyone got done dirty, but I'm happy he found that Tar Heel blue, because Mike Malone can finally, he can be a hard ass, because I think he was trying to be a hard ass in the NBA. And like we said with Mullen, that just doesn't translate over to the NBA. You're talking to grown men over there. You know what I'm saying? Who am I thinking of? UConn's coach. Why am I blanking?
Hurley.
Dan Hurley, yeah.
Dan Hurley. I'm saying Mullen. That's why Hurley probably wouldn't translate over to the NBA very well, because he's so intense. It's the same thing with Malone. He's going to be very intense with these guys, and he's going to tell them the truth. He's coached NBA players before. He has the insight. At the end of the day, North Carolina got themselves a really good coach. So now it's up to Mike Malone and company to get to recruiting, because these boys ain't going nowhere, man. This UConn's
I was say, it's not like he's not been around that program either, because his daughter plays volleyball there.
Correct. So he's going to have the connections. And when, like you said in one of our last episodes, Coop, it was either you or Sam. It was, what do you get that comes with it? You have the Roy Williams effect. You got everything around you in North Carolina to be successful. So he's gonna have the recruits. He's gonna have the NIL money. The NIL is really turning college basketball around. It's going to have to turn into some sort of a business in order to regulate it a little bit. But at the end of the day, NIL is making college basketball more watchable than it already was. Yeah. Now, the expansion of the tournament, I don't agree with that. Why are we changing something that works?
So to be fair, when they expanded from whatever it was to 64, that was at the time like 25% of what the teams are. Because now there's 356 Division I basketball teams. So expanding it to 78 still keeps it around that 25%.
I understand. I understand that. Go ahead,
I get there's problems. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying it like that. But I get why they're doing it. There's more teams. The teams have, you've added probably 100 Division I basketball teams since then.
Yeah.
You kind of adding 10 more NCAA tournament teams, I get, but I don't agree with it.
Numbers wise, totally makes sense. And I know you don't agree with it. I just want to make the point that I'm sure all of us have. If they were increasing the tournament numbers to give out more automatic bids, perhaps to like give every conference 2 automatic bids. So whoever makes the championship game, everybody get 2. And all of a sudden there's 2 Missouri Valley teams. There's 2 Atlantic 10. There's, 2 UConn teams. Yeah. 2 Mountain West teams. I think everybody would be more interested. But what's going to happen is those 100 teams that join the Division I, they're still not going to be considered. It's going to be 16 and 15 Auburn getting in. It's going to be a South Carolina team with a losing record. It's going to be Syracuse on name with a losing record getting in. And my alma mater of SIUE is not getting another bid because of this. It's just going to be for those big schools, for the money of having their fans invest in going to the games, watching the games, and all of a sudden now you have Auburn playing in a playoff game that matters a whole lot. And I don't want to single out Auburn or any team. It's the same for all Power 5 teams. It doesn't matter who's good or bad. But they're all getting like the benefit of it. And all those teams that got added, all those small schools, they're not going to see the benefit. Now, like I said, if they would say, "Hey, if you got to make the conference championship game, but there's 2 automatic bids per conference," or maybe it's like the regular season winner. Every conference gets to decide. If you guys didn't know that, it's the conference decision on who gets the bid. Actually, it's most of them do conference champion. But if all of a sudden conferences are like, "Oh, the regular season winner and the champion," or if the champion's the same team, the second best, that's great. Do that. But they're not going to, as far as I understand.
No, and my reasoning why I don't like it is, a little bit. It's not even about the numbers. It's more so I was listening to Coach Krzyzewski talk about it a little bit, and he was like, if something works, why are we changing it? The tournament is already exciting as it is at 64 teams. It adds a little bit more element of you need to be better during your regular season. You need to schedule more. You need to do this. You need to do that. It already works. You have random people watching college basketball every single year because of the excitement, because of the unpredictability of it. It's already an element of surprise. And you already get those, if you really want to talk numbers, you're already getting a boost in numbers from those average Joes, quote unquote, who don't
Yeah.
watch college basketball during the season, but are tuned in during the NCAA tournament. So that's just where I stand with it. If something ain't broke, don't fix it.
And to piggyback Sam's point, it's like if you're gonna expand, play advocate. If you're gonna expand, well, you're already talking about Cinderella being dead, so you're expanding to get that Auburn team in. Then what's the point? I want
That's what I'm saying.
like if you're gonna expand, put New Mexico, who was on the bubble, put them in. VCU wouldn't. VCU beat North Carolina, cost Hubert Davis's job, but if they didn't win their conference tournament, they weren't getting in. So, if Santa Clara was lucky to get in as a third team from the WCC, it's like you're building all these conferences and these schools are moving around because now the Pac-12 is back. So are they taking an automatic bid? Okay, so there's a new automatic bid. Now you're going to take away from another potential Cinderella team to throw those in there. Not saying the Pac-12 is a power because it's another group of 6, but you get my point. Like that's an automatic bid that's taken away from a team getting in off the bubble. Make it fair. Who cares? SEC is always, SEC Big Ten, the quad 1 net ranking stuff is always going to be skewed metrically to the Power 4.
Yeah.
And like the guy from High Point, we talked about it. The guy from High Point, the guy from
Rob
Miami
Martin.
of Ohio. No, I'm talking about coaches that said
the actual coaching.
We tried to schedule these schools and they won't play us
because it's a lose for them, no matter what, basically.
Because those rankings are so skewed. It's a big win if Miami of Ohio gets them a quad 1 win, but it's a Q4 if the Power 4 loses. So it's so now they're not getting those games, but then they talk about, like you said, it's guys who don't watch basketball behind these desks, evaluating these resumes, and then knocking teams like Miami of Ohio, who almost didn't get into the tournament at 31, and they did everything they're supposed to do other than lose early in their conference tournament. Like I don't know and I want the Cinderella to be back. I mean, is it going to be the same with NIL? No, it's not. But can you get it for a game or two like we did this year with High Point and schools like that? Absolutely, you can. I mean, can we go back to the North Carolina topic real quick?
Yeah, and I also want to talk about NIL with the coaching thing. What we saw now, Mike Malone, good coach, but he was not one of the coaches that we and a lot of people were talking about that North Carolina, was on their first choice. I mean, you shared in our group chat, Michael, like the all the coaches that North Carolina tried to talk to, that either didn't take their call or took an interview and said no. I think that
hold on, I'll tell you that list. So that list was TJ Otzelberger from Iowa State, Tommy Lloyd, Dusty May, Ben McCollum, Brad Stevens, Rick Pitino, Nate Oates. They all either declined it and got an extension from their school or declined an interview, period.
Because they have a better job, Brad Stevens.
Well, Brad Stevens does have a better job.
Brad Stevens does, yes. The two that they were supposed to interview Ben McCollum on Sunday, he turned it down. had it lined up. It was all planned, and all of a sudden he declined the interview. And then Billy Donovan was telling them to wait until after the NBA season's over, which is what, 5 games? And they
weren't willing.
panicked. They panicked after Tommy Lloyd and Dusty May said no, and they didn't
Hey,
want to wait for Donovan, which is a good
recruitment
panic
starts
hire.
now. Recruitment starts now. I kind of understand why
the
even
second the game was over, they needed to start recruiting. Period. Point blank.
The transfer
And
the
high
transfer
school's
portal
already going.
opened. The transfer portal opened officially 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. So I understand why they weren't willing to wait for Billy Donovan. I also understand why Billy Donovan was trying to be like, oh, I'll be interested, but I want to see out the season. I get that. I want to talk about NIL with these coaches and everybody turning it down, because I don't think that in terms of, obviously there are tiers of jobs in college football, college basketball, college everything, whatever, whoever has the best swimming, I'm sure there's tiers of college coaching programs. A lot of the programs have seen a rise because of, not a rise in their actual fit, like how they finish, but a rise in what their coaches are willing to stay for. Because yeah, Nate's getting offered the job from Alabama, or Arizona's a little bit more of a basketball school than Alabama. TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State. Those are good. They're very, very good basketball programs that those coaches have built. But because of NIL, it's kind of risen them to a level where they're like, yeah, obviously we're not the pedigree all time of North Carolina, but as of right now, why can't we compete with them? Because NIL has leveled the playing field. I think that's what's happening. I don't think North Carolina is a worse job than it was 10 years ago in terms of its pedigree and in terms of what people see it as. But what has happened is these coaches now feel like they can be successful, just as successful in these places that they've already built, rather than going and taking on the powder blue and the pressure of being North Carolina's coach. I'm sure every single one of them would say it's an honor to be considered to be considered for an interview to sit in the seat in the coaching office of Dean Smith and of Roy Williams. Because of NIL, they're very happy where they are. But I would like to make the point that I don't think North Carolina is a worse program overall or worse in pedigree seen these days. They haven't had quite the results lately, but no one's out here saying, oh, they've fallen off and North Carolina's dead. Because I don't believe that.
I'm glad you said that, Sam. I'm glad you said that. Let's bring up Dusty May, where he ranks as a coach now. So obviously Michigan got the win today. We all saw that. But really, it was another masterclass of coaching by Dusty. He kept everyone calm. He kept everyone collected. He had them still running offense. Having a point guard like Michigan has, where he does not turn the ball over, to me, that's coaching. Like that means he's got the team exactly where he wants them to be. Where do you guys see Dusty May ranking in the coaches now that he's got a chip under his belt? Because he was successful before Michigan. He had good. I think he had good success wherever he was.
He took FAU to a Final Four.
Like, come on, let's be freaking for real. Like, now Dusty May is a hell of a coach.
They had a true Power 5 starting 5 on that team. So caveat, like it's not like he was taking guys that truly could not play and he coached them to a level.
There was also a lot. I say there's also a lot of upsets in that tournament too. Because San Diego State got there as like a 6 seed or 5 seed, something like that.
Absolutely. Doesn't take away the fact that he brought Florida Atlantic to a Final Four.
When we expected nothing out of Florida Atlantic.
No.
So it's just, I just think, like, where do you guys see Dusty is he top 10, top 5 now? Because he's got a ring.
Top 10.
Probably top. I would say
top 10 or top 5. I don't think he's one. I think
top 10 is probably about right.
I think Dan Hurley's the clear number 1. I think still.
Okay, I'm glad we see the same thing. I still think Dan Hurley, in my opinion, is the best coach in basketball.
Yeah,
it's pretty close. It's close because considering the program, but like what he's done in an amount of time that he's done, the dude he just wants to win. And if you don't want to win, you can't play at UConn. And he doesn't recruit losers, and that's just how he is. He just recruits. He's a hell of a recruiter, hell of a coach. In my mind, a hell of a motivator. So at the end of the day, that checks all the boxes.
You think he's Pitino or Cal?
Yes.
Right now, yes. All time, no. But as
all
of right
time,
now,
absolutely not. They have the pedigree. They've got all of that stuff, especially Pitino.
Yeah.
Especially Pitino. I don't even think, and I'm really not trying to cap. We talking about Calipari, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really trying to cap Calipari. think he's a good coach, but is he a great coach? IDK.
I
don't know.
think, well, I was on the fringe like you were until what he's done at Arkansas.
Which is good, but then it's the same song and dance when it comes to when his Kentucky team. He had a boatloads of talents on damn near every Kentucky team, and it all ended the same. It all ended the same. How many national titles did Calipari win? 1?
Yeah.
Did he win 2?
May thing.
If you can't remember, I'm gonna digress.
Yeah.
Well, no, because he won one with, I can't remember. He won with Anthony Davis, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Did he win one? Did he win one other one?
He didn't win.
I think he lost.
Did he win with the Harrison twins?
No, because they
with
lost.
the Harrison brothers.
Harrison twins played with Anthony. Yeah, they lost. They were undefeated, weren't they?
Yeah, they were undefeated and then they lost.
What about John Wall? Did he win with John Wall?
No, they got upset.
And same song and dance. Same song and dance.
So here, but while we're on the topics, back in October, at the beginning of basketball season, CBS Sports put out a rankings of their top in order what they ranked coaches. They put Hurley at 1, Calvin Sampson from Houston at number 2.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Patino at 3,
Bill Self
at 4, Matt Painter at 5, Nate Oates at 6, Todd Golden 7, Izzo 8, Mark Few 9, Scott Drew 10.
Izzo's too low. I don't like it.
I think
Shire at 11. Then they had Dusty May at 12.
I think Dusty May and Ben McCollum jump over minimum Scott Drew as of right now. Minimum Scott Drew is Oates, like that group. I think they go over them.
They had 26.
Yeah, McCollum's in the top. He's in the top 10 to top 15 for sure now.
And Izzo's way too low. I don't think the Tom Izzo disrespect is a little insane. I don't like that.
The next 3 coaches after Dusty May, they had Barnes at 13, Calipari at 14, Tommy Lloyd at 15.
Rick Barnes?
Yeah. He's made 4 Elite Eights in a row.
Okay.
I mean, Tennessee's been on a hell of a run for a long time with them. Yes, Dalton Connect. No, he cannot make a Final Four. No, he can't. I don't know why. But they make the Elite Eight every time, and that's more than, if Mizzou made the Elite Eight, I'd be crying actively on this podcast.
He said, at this very second, I would be crying.
Yeah, I'd still be in tears about it, thinking about the Magic. Genuinely.
I have a hot take on that list. I feel like Mark Few's too high.
I don't think that's too hot. After
at 9, they had him over Dusty May and Tommy Lloyd and Cal.
Yeah, that's why I think those guys and Ben McCollum. I think he gets over those guys. Scott Drew, I think after his season at Baylor definitely gets a drop. I mean, still great coaches. I know we're nickeling and diming on these coaches. I just think Dusty May, for what he's done over 4 years, definitely deserves to be considered for the top 5 now.
I feel like Scott Drew can coach. It's the matter of last year he had all these injury problems. Same before that, he said he kind of had the issue that we talked about when the tournament started about the Kentucky stuff. They spent all this money on NIL and he didn't get the right players that didn't fit.
Am I liking this Mark Few disrespect? Am I okay with this?
I don't think it's that hot though. Is it that hot of a take to say that Mark Few has been
to be fair?
For what he's got, I think he's doing damn near more shit than what any other coach would be doing. Gonzaga is not going to get those dudes.
They got
not. Okay,
they're spending like that because they don't have football.
Yeah, they do
all their NIL goes to basketball.
Like when Mark Few walks into a kid's living room, he gets to say, compare Mark Few to Dusty May. Obviously, Dusty May just made a national championship game, just won a national championship. But I'm just using Michigan as an example program. Dusty May walks into a kid's living room and says, "Hey, young 17-year-old, I'd love you to play at Michigan. Ann Arbor's a beautiful place. Michigan is a great storied program. We're going to contend," and that's totally right. What Mark Few gets to walk in and say is, "Hey, I can pay the same as Michigan. You'll be at Gonzaga, where basketball is king. You will be the man on campus. You will be the main star of the show. And we play we get just the same amount of national TV games. We get those pedigree games. We're going to play UCLA and Duke and all these teams in non-conference where you're going to get to show your stuff. You're going to get the same amount of it as NIL money because I'm not competing with Michigan's football budget, and you're going to be the star of the show. And I do think that does cause something for his recruiting, for sure. I mean, I don't want to compete. If I'm a 17-year-old and, all of a sudden I hear about the 17-year-old quarterback going to Michigan, it doesn't matter unless I'm literally like insane whether, it doesn't matter. That quarterback's going to be the guy. And if you want to be the guy on campus, Gonzaga's not a bad place to go.
And to be fair, he hasn't. It's been 30 years, and he's only been to one title game or two.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't put him over. You can. I'm not saying drop him to 20.
No,
but I think
I said okay.
He's a top. He's still.
Okay.
He might even still be
15.
But he still might even be a top 10 coach too. I just think that guys like Dusty and Ben McCollum, after the year they've had and the runs they've been on the past couple of years with lesser programs too, deserve to be above.
Maybe it's because I like Mark Few a lot. Maybe it's because I like him.
Well, I love Mark Few.
I love Gonzaga too, and it's nothing against him, but like people knocked Ben McCollum because he didn't have the D1 success, but all that success he had at D2, taking Drake to the Sweet 16 last year, absolutely, and he just took Iowa to the Elite Eight in year one.
Yeah, Iowa with no high level recruits at all, basically. So I do get it. Were we done? Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say Bennett Sturts is going to be an NBA player, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Were we done with anybody's points on Mike Malone? I think I'm excited for it. I'm glad that UNC has a high pedigree professional head coach. I think that's what they were needing. Either they needed one of these big guys or they needed an NBA guy who's had success. He has an NBA ring. I think they needed that to come in. I hope it balances out the Bill Belichick craziness that they have at North Carolina. And I hope he brings North Carolina back because nothing's better than when North Carolina and Duke are slinging it out for the ACC titles, and whenever every single game between them is an absolute barn burner. That's great for college basketball, and we've been missing it for several years now.
And that's what also brings in the money. When Duke and North Carolina are good, their money is money.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested to see what his staff looks like and who he brings in, and if they
to
have
me,
a
that's
GM.
The most important part. That's the most important part of coaching.
He's gonna need a good GM too, like how Duke like what Duke has.
Yeah,
Shire has a really good staff around him. Jai Lucas turned into the Miami coach. Nolan Smith took Tennessee State in his first year after taking over in July to the NCAA tournament. He needs to have a good. Krzyzewski always had a good staff around him. He's gonna need
that's
to
what
build,
makes coaches successful. That's what makes every single coach successful is when you have a great staff behind you. I just want to, and I'll make an example of why coaching matters. I know it's football, but let's look at the Detroit Lions when they had Ben Johnson as the OC. Was Detroit not one of the most solid teams? And the second Ben Johnson left to go to Chicago, what happened?
Yeah, their offense 100%. Their offense was way less creative. I wouldn't even say terrible. Way less creative. They did way less because Ben Johnson is an offensive. It appears to be genius. Now, on the Detroit Lions, real quick. I still think Dan Campbell brings a grit and something to that team that can't be replaced. And obviously Ben Johnson made the offense worse.
Energy and spirit is what Dan Campbell brings.
If he told me that I could play on offensive line on an NFL team, if Dan Campbell's in this room right now and he's like, Sam, I think you can play for me, I'd believe him. And I cannot. So I also wanted to talk real quick about with Mike Malone and with UNC, just about, I wanted to tell a quick story about what coaches moving can do. We're probably not going to see, because Mike Malone took the job instead of Tommy Lloyd or Dusty May taking the job, a crazy coaching movement. Have you guys ever heard about the Roy Williams coaching movement? What happened after Roy Williams took the UNC job from Kansas?
I saw that video. Video. It's wild.
Yeah. Do you know it, Dre?
No, I don't.
Roy Williams leaves the University of Kansas for UNC, which is already, a big move, but Roy Williams was a Dean Smith disciple, so it kind of made sense. Illinois, there's a man called Bill Self. Bill Self leaves Illinois to go to Kansas. pissing off Illinois fans, Bill Self is now an all-time coach at Kansas. The coach from Southern Illinois, who led Illinois to that Final Four run in 2005, what was his name? With
Bruce Weber.
Bruce Weber, with Darren Williams, Luther Head, Dee Brown. Bruce Weber, Southern Illinois, had a great program at the time, had made multiple kind of deep tournament runs. Southern Illinois, Carbondale, they had made a couple deep tournament runs. They honestly have a decent program all time. Walt Frazier went to Southern Illinois. If you didn't know, Bruce Weber goes from Southern Illinois to Illinois and leads, that Illinois team for a while. Guess who the young up and coming coach that got a chance to have a head coaching experience at Southern Illinois was?
Matt Painter.
Matt Painter. And that's what a crazy coaching shift can do, but we're not probably going to see it, which, is kind of saddening to me. I would have liked to see that, but I'm also happy that North Carolina got a guy that they feel comfortable with and they feel can be professional and take the helm there. Cause that's not a job that is easy to take, which I fully understand.
I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
It's crazy.
And then,
like all
and
that
then
stuff
it was
transferred
then
over.
it was
It's crazy.
Gene Cady decided to step down a year later, and he hired Matt Painter like a year later from Southern Illinois to take over at Purdue.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Are we Gucci on the college hoops? Are we ready to move on to
My boy.
Pearls?
My boy.
We are getting ready to talk about.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag. Oh my God. We are getting ready to talk about Cooper freaking Flag. And let me just go ahead and point this out real quick. Maybe a week ago, hell. It was really a choice between Con Knipple and Cooper Flag.
Mhm.
Until Cooper Flag played this week. That man in the last 2 games has had over 90 points, including a 50 burger. So this is not a conversation anymore. This kid is 19 years old, not even 20 years old. He's a young 19, and he is even better than advertised. I didn't even know Cooper Flag had the bag that he absolutely has, and he is dominating cats. When he gets some help, when Kyrie comes back from injury, Derek Lively comes back from injury, the Mavericks are a playoff team. It is just pure and straight facts. They are easily a 6-7 seed in the West because Cooper Flag has shown the ability that he could. He's shown the ability, freaking Sam. He's shown the ability that he can win a game just strictly on his talent, man. And there's nobody on the court that can guard him. So right now, Cooper is the rookie of the year. And you can argue with the wall at this point because it's not close anymore. Congrats to Con Knipple on breaking that 3-point record, though. Shout out to him.
Been a great year for Con Knipple.
Yeah. And they're going to make the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
The Hornets are.
He's been the third guard that the Hornets needed. Big shout out to him. I think he wins a rookie of the year a lot of years. But Cooper Flag.
This is not a 10.
Yep, absolutely. Cooper Flag is as good as it gets. I mean, Cooper Flag is breaking like Michael Jordan records. He is now like the most 40, 50 point games of a young guy. He has.
So speaking of Michael Jordan, Cooper Flag is first in the Mavs in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's on pace to be the first rookie to lead their team in all 4 categories since Jordan.
That's nuts.
Yeah. He's so good. I mean, it's unbelievable watching him play. I know we can get into a little bit of the conspiracy of, is that the reason why the Mavericks actually traded Luka? Because it was inexplicable at the time and it still makes no sense to me. And I'm not a Mavs fan by any means. I still want to kick Nico Harrison in the teeth. It's just such a bad trade, but they got Cooper Flag, and I don't want to, we don't know what could happen in the future. The future is never certain. Cooper Flag might be better than Luka Doncic. Might not be close when it gets to the end of their careers. Cooper Flag is incredibly good. He's breaking Michael Jordan records. He was playing college basketball at 17. He's that good. He would have still been a number 1 pick in this draft class too, which is unbelievable. I mean, this draft class.
And again, argue with the wall with that one too, because as good as Devonta is, he ain't Cooper Flag.
No, it's not close. The level of polish that Cooper Flag has is way more.
And think that kid can get better.
Yeah.
To think Cooper Flag can get stronger, can get more consistent with the 3. Because he shoots 30% right now, Cooper. he gets that up to 30, what'd you say, 33%, 34%? Have a good night.
Think about when he plays every player in the NBA when he's had 5 chances to go against them and he knows their
Oh my
game a
God.
little bit more. Yeah. It's the experience. Cooper Flag is dangerous. My only concern for him is he's in the West, and there is a lot of unicorn, crazy talent in that Western Conference. Jokic and Curry, Curry obviously is definitely on his way, kind of out. He had a great game, his first game back the other night, if anybody
He's
saw, by the
so
way.
good. He's so good. It actually irritates me how good he is.
Steph Curry off the ball is...
Trey, to answer your question, 29.7% from 3 this year.
So
He gets
30%. You can say 30%.
He gets to
But
35.
He gets to 35, 37%. Dude, he's going to average 30. He's averaging 40.
He's averaging 40.
What's crazy is he's still shooting. He's so efficient from the field, even with his poor 3-point shooting. He's still shooting 48% from the field.
You're not getting that out of another 19-year-old rookie. There's no 19-year-old rookies that's going to do that. Imagine what he's going to do at 20, at 21, when his body fully develops at 27, 28. Like, good night.
Absolutely. And I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Michael Jordan came into the league after his, junior year of college?
He was a junior, when he left.
He wasn't doing this at 19.
No, he was not.
These are Michael Jordan numbers as a young 19-year-old. Like I said, my only concern is he's out west with Shea, with Wemby, and that Spurs team, with Shea and that Thunder team, with Luka and Austin Reeves are still, and LeBron is a third choice guy on that Lakers team, makes them still very dangerous. I think the Rockets have got a lot of good talent. The Suns, there's so many talented teams. We're going to add expansion draft teams in a couple of years here too. So I think that's the only concern for me of whether, how hard the playoffs are going to be. But at the same time, maybe that's great for him. Him playing teams like the Spurs.
Thank you, Sam. That's what I'm getting ready to say.
In the next couple of years of playoffs, what that might do. I mean, once again, Michael Jordan, but LeBron, all-time greats, except for like Bird and Magic, a lot of them had to learn and get killed in playoffs. Michael Jordan was getting murdered by them bad boys Pistons.
And it seems like people want to forget Jordan's first 7 years in the league before he started winning. But I digress.
Which he was winning MVPs and he was playing really good in those playoffs, but it was really hard. And he had to play some really great teams. And I think that could happen for Cooper Flag too. My last point before I turn over to you and Mike on Cooper Flag is, man, him and Colin Knippel, it was a great race. Just imagine if they had played, imagine if those two guys on the same team.
Yeah, they should have won
a 12-point lead.
Then we're going.
Just imagine it.
I think I was there.
Yeah,
I think I was there.
No, you weren't dreaming. It did happen, and they just lost. So I'll hand it over to you.
So Dre, I know you're a big LeBron. You're a big LeBron guy. So
I am.
LeBron rookie season: 20.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 41.7% from the field. Cooper Flag: 21.1 points, 6.7 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 47.3% from the field.
Like I said, he is insane as a rook. And as much as I love Bron was good from the moment he stepped into the league.
100%.
But let's get something straight. That white boy from Maine is insane.
He's had four 40-point games this year, and his back-to-back 40-plus point games were the first one since Iverson did it.
I was about to say, Bron didn't do that. And to me, he's the best player that's ever played. We'll talk. We can talk about that later. But Cooper Flag is without a doubt.
Bron had one. Look, as a rookie.
And LeBron played in the East. He was playing in the East.
With arguably a worse team. Not arguably, a way worse team.
Very much so worse team. That's LeBron played us a bad team.
And that's not LeBron's fault. Listen, I'm more of a Michael Jordan guy, all time, but LeBron's my second at worst. For me, they're a 1A, 1B. It's kind of like Batman, Superman for me. I have a great analogy about that. If we ever want to do the Michael Jordan, LeBron thing, too many podcasts.
That might take an hour. That will take an hour. We could talk LeBron and Jordan all day long.
We can skip that, but LeBron, all-time, probably number one, number two, whatever. Doesn't matter. Great player.
Exactly.
He was playing on some dog shit teams. Not his fault. Dog shit teams.
And who did he take it to that finals against the Spurs? He took when Mo Williams was his second best player. No disrespect to Mo, but that can't be
No.
your second best player.
Hey,
Third
don't
choice is
disrespect.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
No,
Out.
don't disrespect Boobie Gibson like that.
First of all, Boobie was like, let me just make sure people understand. I know my place on the when we talking about NBA players. They are some of the best players in the world and would smoke any regular person 1,000,000,000 to 0. Like
Brian
Brian Scalabrine,
Scalabrine.
yes,
Yep.
they would smoke me 1,000,000%. But let me also point out a fact. Boobie Gibson might have been like the 13th player off that bench. And like I said, and he had a strap too, had a jumper out the world. I loved Boobie Gibson. But LeBron took
Was that
Mo Williams.
Was that 08?
Mo Williams! And the third, who was the third? Zydrunas Ilgauskas at the tail end of his career?
Probably the third best player on that team, yeah.
At the tail end of his career? Come on, man. You was not getting over Timmy.
I can't believe that Saturday Night Live did the, like, their sketch of we're the other Cavaliers. I play in blue jeans, and we only pass the ball to LeBron. They did that sketch in 2018. No, they should have done that sketch in 2006. The 2006 was way more egregious. Way more egregious.
And Greg Popovich was like, we try to stop LeBron. And that's it. That's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do.
Hey, so LeBron was leading scorer on that team, obviously. Larry Hughes was the second leading scorer at 15 points a game. Zydrunas Ilgauskas was third at 12 points a game. Drew Gooden was the only other player who averaged
number 90, Drew Gooden. Oh,
he was the only other player on that team that averaged double digits at 11 a game.
And LeBron was only averaging 20.
27.3.
It's got to be. If you take away their best player, are they the worst team to ever make the finals? If you take away every team's all-time best player, are they the worst team ever to make a finals?
Hey,
maybe Philly. Maybe Philly.
Which Philly team? 03.
You take away AI, their second best player was Eric Snow.
Yeah.
And Dikembe on the tail end of his career, Aaron McKee.
Yeah.
Keith Van Horn. Actually, I digress. Never mind. It was Cleveland.
Yeah. It probably was Cleveland still. It was
Cleveland.
Congratulations, Cooper Flagg, overall.
Very excited. Stud muffin.
Very excited for the rest of his career. Excited to see what pick the Mavericks get. I don't know if Silver tosses him another bone for giving Luka to the Lakers to keep the Lakers relevant. I don't know what.
I still believe that conspiracy that Ryan Smith is going to get and Danny Ainge are getting that number 1 pick.
Really? Oh, it's the Jazz?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean,
and then AJ DeBonsa. How convenient would that be?
AJ DeBonsa has to move 50 miles.
If you've never heard conspiracy, if you've never heard the conspiracy of what that is, DeBonsa, his senior year of high school, transferred to a prep school in Utah that was funded by Ryan Smith, the owner of the Jazz, plays for BYU, whose NIL is funded by Ryan Smith and Danny Ainge, and the Jazz happen to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Next to Milwaukee. They're bad.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
But you know what I'm saying? They're going to have lottery balls to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me at all. And how sucky is it for the Lakers now? They were peaking at the right time for Luka to mess up his hammy, and then Austin Reeves get hurt. Now you got to rely on 41-year-old LeBron James. I'm sorry, and I love LeBron. I love him. But you're not winning a championship these days with 41-year-old LeBron as your number 1 option.
No,
I'm sorry.
If he wins this, I wouldn't be, completely shocked. I won't come on this podcast and be like, oh my God, if he wins a round. But it's a lot to ask out of LeBron and the rest of that core. Did you see the meme of Bronny James? It's the Lil Sass meme from Barcelona with Bronny James learning that he's going to be a starting point guard in the playoffs. He's like, Me?
Did you see the video of when they played Cooper Flagg when he had the 45-point game of LeBron calling for the ball from Bronny calling for?
Yeah, son, get out of the way. But so much aura, dude. You're literally playing with your oldest son on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah,
at a high level. Like you're
Yeah.
literally playing important games. And Bronny's gotten better. I'm not even gonna sit here and hold him. Bronny's gotten a
No.
little decent. Let's not even he'll bust my ass. I'll tell you that right now. Bronny would beat the shit out of
If you guys haven't, go watch LeBron on the Bob Does Sports when he plays golf with. That shit is so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't like
He's-
LeBron much, but hearing him talk about the shit that he talked on there, I was like, oh yeah.
And because it felt like they got the real LeBron. I feel like LeBron to the media sometimes, and I hope LeBron stands don't take this the wrong way, because once again, I'm not a hater of LeBron as much as I just really love Michael Jordan. I'm not hating on him. I think sometimes for the media and for the cameras, he does things that I don't know why, like the inexplicable, like lying. Now I do think he's just trolling everybody who's like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I predicted that. That's very funny if that's a troll. If it's just a lie that he keeps doing and where he's like, yeah, this book's really good and he's on the first page. If it's a troll, it's actually very funny. And I think that could be it. Maybe he's just secretly absolutely hilarious. But sometimes with the media, but Bob Does Sports got him, I feel like, a little bit more authentic, and I enjoyed it too. And he impressed me. His Cracker Barrel pancakes, what he was talking about with them, I perked up. I love me a Cracker Barrel pancake. They're perfect, and I did enjoy it. I hope he has a good playoff. I really do feel bad for the Lakers though.
they're going to go against probably matchups are very important in the NBA playoffs. And right now, Minnesota is a horrible matchup because number one, you don't have anyone to guard Ant. They have Naz Reid is unbelievably talented. Jaden McDaniels is extremely good too. They don't have anybody to guard those guys. Jackson
No.
Hayes isn't quick enough on his feet. He'll probably just guard Gobert, who at this point, he won how many defensive players of the year that man won? Oh, he gets on my nerve, Rudy Gobert. But matchups are important. It looks like the 6-3 matchup is the Timberwolves and the Lakers. And that's just not a good matchup for LA right now. And without Luka Doncic, you really don't have a shot. He went to Europe to see if he can get his leg nice and ready for the playoffs. But again,
when I hear about guys going to Europe or even it's way worse if it's like we're going to South America to get a second opinion. You're like, man, that leg's done.
This is as pretty bad as they thought it was going to get. And if Luka wants to have a future, he needs to just get himself healthy and run, get in shape, start playing some freaking defense, dude. All he has to do is play a little bit, just a little bit of defense.
Yeah, he's not the fastest, but he has the size.
He's smart. He's smart.
And the length and the intelligence, yeah.
And when he was with Dallas, he played a little bit of defense, which is why people didn't hunt him like they're doing right now. They are hunting Luka and Austin Reeves, the Oklahoma City Thunder, expose. You got to you hunt him, you make him work on defense, and I guarantee that shot's not falling. He was like 4 of 16 before he left the game.
Yeah.
So this playoff game.
So if it ended today, they're going to play the Rockets.
Yeah, still a bad matchup.
I don't agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that as much.
The Rockets are on a heat.
It's not good.
The Rockets
are on a heater, but they're a regular season team, and in the playoffs, you need a point guard, and the Rockets have no point guard. They have Kevin Durant, Amen Thompson, who can't shoot, and Jabari Smith, who is afraid to shoot sometimes. I'm sorry. That formula is going to be Kevin Durant shooting a bunch of shots during the game, and I don't know if that's feasible at 30. How old is he? 37, 38 years old. My dude is old.
Is that team not still way more talented at every position in the starting five? And at this point, LeBron and Kevin Durant cancel each other out. I mean, Jackson Hayes is and DeAndre Ayton versus Şengün is not going to be good.
That's not going to be good. Şengün's going to eat them up because he has that Nikola Jokic type slow game that they can't stop. And DeAndre Ayton, again, doesn't want to be Clint Capella. You might want to turn into him right now, brother, because he was a good defensive player. And you need to start blocking some shots, protecting the rim. But he won't do it.
So obviously with the play-in, not the Thunder and Spurs matchups not set yet. Right now, I think there's 3 games to go. The Nuggets will play Minnesota as it stands right now.
What a series.
the Lakers Rockets is 4-5. It could depend on who gets the 4 or 5. They're within one game of each other, so we'll see how that plays out. But that matchup is
If
pretty
I'm
much set at
Minnesota,
this
I
point.
want no parts of freaking Denver because let me go ahead and explain something to y'all. The game I watched the other night, the Nuggets versus the Spurs. Did I never in a million years did I think Wemby would look like he's seen a ghost. But when Nikola Jokic was out there giving him 40, I'm sorry. Nikola Jokic needs that MVP. And I'm gonna stand on that real quick because Wemby's good. He's gonna win a ton more MVPs. He's probably gonna win
So
Defensive
Shea.
Player of the Year until
Going to Shea.
forever.
So
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. I think Shea is also going to win a ton too. Why Nikola
he is.
Jokic? Why not his last one? Why not his? Because the NBA writers do this shit all the time. It's not that they actually vote for 100% who they think the MVP of the year is. A lot of times they do the thing where this could be his last one, so we'll give it to him.
Nikola Jokic, but he deserves it. And that's the craziest part about it. And he's cooking. He cooks any big in front of him. You might block his shot once or twice, which is what Wemby did. But
if we're talking about
he did not get the better
like
of
the
him.
playoffs and talking about the playoffs and the play-in right now, the Suns are playing Golden State in the 7-10 game in the West, and
The
then it's
Suns will win
Clippers
that.
Portland for the. Then it's
I don't know. Did you see the Warriors close that game last night and kind of get hoed at the end? Dude, Steph Curry off the ball. I could watch
I can't
that guy
even explain him.
I could never watch him shoot again, but just watch him run off of screens and off of actions and be happy. That guy he's a savant.
So
It's
good.
unbelievable.
He's so good. And for him being so small, he makes the biggest impact on the floor. The second they put him in the game, they were immediately in the game. Like, that's the craziest part about him.
Yeah, absolutely. It took Şengün just bullying down low for them to get a win at the end.
Which I get it, but 2 is not worth more than 3 in any day of the week. And Steph Curry shoots the 3 ball. That's the greatest shooter of all time, and it's not even close. Klay Thompson to me is number 2.
Really?
And you can argue with the wall. Yeah, you can argue with the wall.
Not Ray?
Ray Allen don't shoot like him. Larry Bird don't shoot like him. Reggie Miller didn't shoot like him. Klay Thompson had the coldest trigger, and he played next to the coldest trigger. Like, that's the craziest thing ever. Klay Thompson to me, and his jump shot was beautiful to watch. And you want to talk about off the ball? That's another dude who had it down T. They ran off the ball so well with each other. Steph and Klay, that was just unbelievably unstoppable. I'm not surprised they didn't win because they went against Bron one of those years, and then they had KD. Really count? Can you count that? Yeah, but nah. So,
what do we think about the Trailblazers making the play-in game? That could be interesting. I mean, they lost Chauncey Billups, as we all know,
because he can't stop gambling. Don't he make millions of dollars?
I don't think he was gambling. I think he was helping steal money from people who are gambling, which is almost worse.
You might as well have gambled.
Yeah.
So I think if they get the 8 seed, they're getting swept.
Fair.
Whoever is getting the 8 seed is getting swept.
Outside of the
to be fair, if the Suns somehow slip into the 8 seed, I think they could steal a game.
For sure.
Not from OKC.
I said a game. I didn't say they win a series.
I think they can win. Game.
They can get 1. I think OKC could win that in 5. Gentlemen's sweep, win that in 5.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. OKC might not lose a game till round 2. Matter of fact, the OKC is they are deep. They are well coached. They have a star. They have a backup star. I'm sorry. And you got that. Who's their backup big? Hartenstein. The most perfect compliment to Chet Holmgren ever.
Jared McCain being the 4th guard in the rotation. It's fucking hilarious.
Dude.
It's
crazy. The Thunder might not lose a game the first 2 rounds. Get out of here with that.
Yeah. I mean,
they're so good.
I won't disagree. I think the Suns could win a game, but I don't think anybody's taking anything off of them until they play one of the top. With the Lakers hurt, I don't think anybody's taking a game off of them until they play the Spurs or the Nuggets.
So if we go to the East real quick, so the Pistons look like they probably have locked up the 1. Celtics locked in the 2.
Is Cade back? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't. I should probably
That is
click on
so
that.
important because they're gonna probably play Charlotte.
He was upgraded to doubtful today from out.
Yes, so he's probably close at least.
He's
Okay.
close. Okay, so they'll probably have him for the playoff run, which is extremely important because before he got hurt, that was the MVP in all aspects of the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Cade Cunningham that team was a 20-win team last year. Like, get the hell out of here, Cade.
The Hawks are up to 5th. My
Yeah.
God. My God, the Atlanta Hawks. Holy shit.
That's
going to
be a great. That's
They
going to
are
be a
stingy.
great series between them and Cleveland. That's going to be a great series.
Yeah.
Who's Philly? Who does Philly got? Because I think who's Philly going to get?
Philly, they're in the
Philly's-
play-in.
They're in the play-in, the 7th. The Raptors are still there.
If they get to 7, they're going to get Boston and probably get swept.
They're going to get swept. Yikes.
Boston owns them in the playoffs.
How many games has Joel Embiid played this year?
I think
North
he's
of
played.
40? I'm going to say low. I'm going to say north of
Is this
a
the
little
top
bit less
three?
than 40.
Is this the top 3 most played season for him?
I don't know.
Like sneaky?
I don't know, man. If Philly ain't
And
making no noise, Embiid is really good. So if
he's only
played
he's
37.
only 37 games.
Okay, got it.
sorry, he's missed
God damn.
50. Yeah. Bye.
This guy.
Oh, in his career, the most I think it was his MVP season in 21-22.
Still shouldn't have won it still, but it's fine.
68
Well, I digress. I didn't think he should have won it either.
68 games he played that year. That was the most in his career.
Damn.
The last 2 years combined, he hasn't played 68 games.
And Joel Embiid is good. I ain't even gonna hold my brother. He's good.
He was averaging 26 and 26 points this year, and he couldn't jump.
Yeah. No, he's very, very good. If of the bottom 4 teams in each conference, which team, aside from the people play, if the Pistons, like aside from injuries, turn the injuries off for like Cade and like people, all of a sudden Wemby goes down in the first game of the Spurs series, that things get different. Turn injuries off. Which of these like 7 through 10 in both leagues do you guys think could win a series? If you had to pick one,
The Hornets.
The Hornets.
I think it's the Hornets, or I'll toss in the Warriors just in terms of
Steph Curry
Steph
could literally win. He's done it before. He can win series by himself just because of his efficiency.
The only reason I'm not taking a West team is
because they play the Thunder or the Spurs.
They have to play the Thunder or the Spurs, and they're not beating the Thunder or the Spurs. They're not.
I totally agree. I would just toss out. I think of the bottom 7 through 10 in both conferences, I think because of the Steph Curry effect that the Warriors are the best team. But Charlotte, I think Charlotte is a trendy pick here. The Magic haven't been consistent enough in a lot of games. I'll also toss out, I guess the Clippers too. Like,
Hey, the Clippers, they were unhealthy for a lot of the year. And now that they're playing, they got Darius Garland. They got
veterans. They got vets. I mean, Kawhi plays healthy, we've seen what he can do. I mean,
Kawhi's elite, but he has to play. And that's just how it is. It's like he's the Darren Peterson of the NBA. It's like when he plays, he's one of the best players in the league, and it's not close. But when he doesn't play, which is a lot of often, you that is it. Got it.
Kawhi probably has one of the weirdest careers of an all-time great.
And he's so freaking good.
Yeah.
So freaking good. That solo title run he had in Toronto, that was something to live for right there, brother. That little bouncy to beat Philly.
How many games do you think he's played this year?
41. No. Cap.
I haven't looked.
37.
No, Dre, he played that in 2024, 2025.
42.
He's played 62 games this year.
Really?
Kawhi
which is the most he's played since 2023, 2024. He played 68 games, which he'll finish around 65, I would assume, because there's 3 left. But this year, other than that, the 2023, 2024 was the most games he's played since 2016 in a season.
28, 6 and 3 on 50% from the field is.
He's insane.
And almost 40 from 3, almost 40 from 3 too.
And he's a good 3-point shooter with those big old meat claws he's got as hands, man. Big old pots. He got big old man hands.
He
But
does.
that dude got
It's
some hands on.
crazy. He's finally healthy-ish, and they're barely in the playoffs. And that's not a shot at him. That's
I
not a
think
shot
that
at
says a
him.
lot about the West as a whole.
Nah, the West is loaded. They are absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
Like, holy smoke.
I mean,
I do think the best pickup that the Clippers did was get Benedict Mathurin, though.
Yeah, they needed more wing
He's been
scoring.
good. He's been good for them. 18 a night off the bench. 18.8 a night, 29 minutes off the bench.
I don't mind the John Collins backup center play either, or is he starting at this point?
I think he's starting now.
Okay. Brook Lopez coming off the bench then?
Because they had to get rid of, didn't they get rid of their starting center,
They traded
Zubac? What's his name?
Yeah, they got a first round pick in Benedict Mathurin for Zubac.
Yeah, this team isn't bad. Kawhi, Darius Garland, Benedict Mathurin, Brook Lopez, John Collins. Somebody had to pick up the Bradley Beal contract, and the Clippers decided it was going to be them. Bogdanovich, Chris Dunn, Nick Batum, Derek Jones Jr. It's not, they don't have
That's
bad
not
team.
a horrible roster, but like he said, that whoever gets those
West.
bottom two spots, they got to go against OKC and the freaking Spurs. I don't want no Hawks.
How funny would it be if Kawhi wins that revenge series
against
San Antonio? They get the 7th seed.
I think it secretly.
I'd cry. I don't know. I'd cry. That'd be amazing to watch.
I'd be very sad, but I feel kind of the same way as Cooper Flag this year and probably next year or the next couple years. Wemby losing a series to a vet like Kawhi might not be the worst thing for that team as a whole. Because as Bill Simmons was talking about, he's like, we're getting to like where it's the 90 or 91 Bulls with this Spurs roster because they're all right in the right age group. They're perfectly positioned in their roles.
Oh my god!
And they have a generational star to lead them. And the question is like really more of like when than if. But like they also need. This is going to be their first real playoff. Maybe they kind of need it. I, in general, my last NBA thought for the playoff push is I'm very excited for these playoffs.
It's going to be some of the best.
The West is insane. The East is obviously not as insane, but I'm still interested to see, Paolo play for the Magic, the Hornets play, see how the Raptors and the Atlanta Hawks actually do, see if maybe the Knicks or the Cavaliers can actually make a push. Maybe the Pistons can actually win the West. I think the most disappointing outcome is kind of the Celtics and the Thunder go to the finals and the Thunder win again. But it still means we had a good playoff. But I'm more excited for an NBA playoff than I've been in a while because it's just all these teams.
And which is crazy because we've had so many good series in the past couple of years, brother. Like we've had some all-time series. One of my favorite series was that Nuggets Timberwolves series. That Nuggets Timberwolves series. We might get that again. We're going to get that again.
Nuggets Thunder has also been a great series too.
And we're going to get that again.
Hopefully.
And now you get some revenge. Like you think Nikola Jokic is going to take losing to the Timberwolves, laying down after what Ant did to them, hitting that big three in the corner, bro. That was some of the best basketball, and we're gonna get a chance to watch it again, and I cannot wait.
And then once that's over, we get an NBA draft with an incredible senior and freshman class full of guys that we
overseas class dudes from overseas that can play.
Yeah, we're going to get a ton of guys who I really think can contribute to the NBA and can change around franchises drafted to these teams too. So I'm really excited about where the NBA is overall and going into these playoffs. Michael, what do you think?
I'm just excited. I want another wild finals. I mean, I don't want Halliburton blowing his Achilles out. I don't want something like that to happen.
That was one of the saddest moments. Oh my god!
He started so hot.
I want something of some team to make a run like that.
Yeah,
where it's like a Hawks that get hot or Hornets that get hot, or
LaMelo Ball, the janky knee clicker. I'm telling you, the knee clicker. That boy is clicking them knees.
And I know we're like not willing to really say anybody over the Thunder and the Spurs, but like, what if I mean the Nuggets are the 3rd seed, I get, but like, would we not love to see Nikola Jokic get on a run and beat those teams and make the finals too? I just think there's a lot of things.
And would it blow your mind if he did? No, it would not.
Not particularly.
Not in the slightest.
I've said this the last 2 episodes. I want 7 games of Denver OKC.
Oh my god!
I want 40. The next season, Adam Silver should be like, hey, everybody else, you play the regular season. Denver, OKC, you guys get 40 primetime games. Whichever one of you wins more, you win the West. That's all I want.
Oh, such a good.
Maybe toss the
Nicola's so
Spurs in
good.
there and just have them play a round robin all year. Have the rest of the West duke it out and play a round robin of those top 3 teams. Just 60 games of it, please.
That would be some. That would be some amazing.
Can we talk about the NBA draft for a little bit?
Sure.
If you had a dream scenario, like me being a Mavs fan, Dre, I've told you multiple times, I want them to get Darius Acuff.
Mm.
Unless you get, what's the highest pick you can get? Can you get one?
I don't
Technically,
is there a cap? Well, they got 11 last year. They were 11 last year and got 1, but I don't think they give them 1 back-to-back years.
well, because you talked about, your dream scenario. Your dream scenario would be like 1 or 2, right? But if you're talking about where you should, like your average level of position for your pick, then yeah, Darius Acuff, you could say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the fit for where they're actually realistically gonna go. I don't see a fit with like a Boozer Lively front court with the way that they want to play with Cooper Flag. I want
No,
a
you got to
Darius
clear that paint out. You got to have dudes that can be ready to just bounce on that rim. And Derek Lively's perfect for that. He'll protect and he'll give you a lot.
So Acuff is your pick when you have Kyrie coming back?
Yeah, I want Acuff to play next to Kyrie and learn from him.
Sure. Okay, that's fair. I was thinking like a more of a defensive guard to pair with Kyrie, because then your front court's a little bit weak.
A little small too.
Yeah, your backcourt, sorry, is a
But
little bit weak.
The way that I feel is if you have a backcourt of Acuff and Kyrie, and then you have a Cooper Flag who's very good defensively, you have a PJ Washington who's very good defensively, you have Najee Marshall who's very good defensively.
You got it.
You
got that.
Derek. You have Derek Lively if you can keep him healthy. You add another kind of athletic, bigger 4-man. I think they have the right pieces. If they were to go that route, you need to build it like how they built that team around Luka that went to the finals.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick.
Dre, what would yours be if you had a dream scenario of for like a team that's up high like that? If you could find like a perfect fit that's realistic, that's not if
you're thinking about it and want to think about it, I have mine.
I do want to think about it because I was gonna say that Indiana one sounded spicy. That one where you had Indiana getting a top pick and them sliding up and getting an AJ Devonsa, and then you pair him with Hallie coming back.
I was going to say something even different, but Devonsa, of course, for sure. Cameron Boozer on the Pacers.
Oh,
that kind of defensive player, that consistency. Like I don't think that's
front court scoring.
Yeah. Because I think that could be good. I also think Devonsa could be really great for a wing player to replace Mathurin and maybe be even way better.
Indiana
version.
desperately needs somebody to help out. Siakam, is that their 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need more wing scoring. So Siakam can get busy. So Hallie can get busy. So woo, that'd be nasty.
I think either of those picks are good.
Like Naismith or Aaron Nesmith was a perfect wing for them, but he's a better wing when he's coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I agree, 100%.
Not a starting wing.
And that's not a knock on him. Sometimes that's just a better role for him in that system. He could probably go to another system and start, no doubt. But nah. And where he doesn't have to be the number 1 point, I'm cool with that. What's up?
Dre, do you have any other idea for a team? Otherwise, I have another hypothetical I'd like to talk about.
No.
Okay. With the Wizards in the Trae Young and Anthony Davis business, there's always the chance that both of those guys are healthy and play. And they don't have, the worst team. I know they're 17-61 right now. They don't have anybody else. They have some decent pieces, obviously. It's an NBA roster. And there's obviously guys that if they're all of a sudden coming off the bench instead of being the number 1 scorers, could be way better. Who could the Wizards get with that? Those 2 guys that would make you guys think, hey, I mean, if they stay healthy and like can actually play together, maybe they could, jump up this kind of weaker East. Who's a draft pick that you guys think could really take that? Aside from the obvious of like AJ Devonsa.
To me, they could be sneaky and get like a Darren Peterson. I truly, because right now you have small Trae Young as your one. You throw in Anthony Davis as your big, Alex Sarr as your four. Slide in a little Darren Peterson who can really shoot the light out if given the spotlight. And he doesn't have to be the number one option, so he can take better care of his health. But
Yeah.
you're adding another health story to a team with 3 health stories already. That is where
They
my
have
concern would come.
the guard too. What's his name? Kabali?
But
Blue
yeah,
Kabali.
Koulibaly, yeah.
And they have the guy they drafted this year from Texas. The one that me, you, and Mark saw.
Trey Johnson, is
Yeah,
that his
that
name?
dude's that
You guys want to hear something terrifying? I'm looking at a mock draft right now, and the Oklahoma City Thunder have the 17th pick. They're projected to pick Bennett Sturts.
Oh God.
That's fucked.
Okay.
That's fucked.
Yeah. OKC is really good upstairs, man. I don't know how they do it. They're going to get
My,
a really good player out of this draft and get even scarier next year.
my last draft question, I suppose, is to you guys of all we just talked about a lot of freshmen, a lot of guys. Of all the guys that are going to be late first, early second round of the seniors, the experienced veteran guys, who do you guys think is gonna carve out a good NBA career? Who's just a guy that comes to mind?
of older.
The
The
older one,
older guys. Yeah.
the guy who played tonight, Jackson Lindenborg.
I
That's good.
think
I think
my pushback on him is I think he's gonna have to go to the right system.
They have him projected to Memphis right now, which
oh boy. Oh boy.
I would say it's probably Bennett Sturt.
Bennett Sturts. I mean, I'm going to toss out just for pedigree, and why not Alex Caravan as a lengthy space the floor shooter guy. I mean, he has the right mentality, I think.
Some team he's a lot of his projections are second round too. Someone's gonna get a steal with him in the second
Yeah,
round.
for sure. I don't disagree.
This draft is absolutely loaded because in any other, you think of guys like these, they would be first round talents, but there is so much freaking talent in this draft. Their teams are going to get
Like,
a really good player in Lindenborg and in Sturts and all those guys, man. I'm
we
truly
haven't
excited to see.
we haven't even mentioned the guys who are projected fourth and fifth, and Caleb Wilson and Keaton Wagler. Kingston
Like,
Fleming
dude,
from Houston. Like, this is insane. Like, the first guy off the list and their mock is Jaden Quintons from Kentucky, who's a sophomore. And then it's right back. Koa Pete, LeBaron Philon. So like Thomas Hoff from Florida.
I'm looking at one mock right now that has Philon going to Golden State. Can you imagine him next to Steph?
Is that a better version of Jordan Poole?
Jordan Poole was nice when he was with Golden State. I ain't even going to cap. He was so.
Before
he
he got
was-
punched.
he
Before he
was a
got punched in
bucket.
the face by Draymond.
Yeah, or Draymond ruined
Draymond
it.
had to do what he had. Draymond had to do it. It had to be done.
Draymond.
It had to be done.
I'll miss Draymond Green. I'm going to say it. A lot of people get tired of that guy. I'm going to miss him
I
when he's
don't.
gone.
I love Draymond.
Gosh, what a silly, silly guy. Yeah, that's my NBA thoughts. I think this draft is going to be as fun to cover as almost as this, March Madness was. I think there's tons of teams that go into this draft and think that they're going to get a guy that they really like. So good for them. I feel the same about the NFL draft, by the way, this year too. Not the podcast for it, but I think there's a lot of teams that really feel like they're going to get a nice player.
It's going to be a great draft too. My team won't be drafted, but in the first round, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
Got to keep that chin up.
It's a, all right.
Women's?
Oh my gosh. We're going to be talking a little women's basketball to end the night, ladies and gentlemen. So women's Final Four, I tuned into it. I made sure I did because I was very interested to see Gino Auriemma win yet another natty. Because it's always cool to see a team really dominate. I love to watch it. For me personally, I'm more on the other side. I like to watch it. But as we all know, South Carolina beat UConn in the Final Four, and UCLA beat Texas. Low key, that Texas, what a horrible showing, man. They had such a good chance. I thought
I didn't see that. I didn't see that game. Was it that bad?
it was pretty. They couldn't make a shot, and they couldn't hit a shot, and UCLA was just domination nation, and um, with the South Carolina game, they beat UConn and beat them pretty handily, and it was pretty nice. But it was after the game that really got my attention when Don Staley and Gino went to shake hands, and Gino started going off for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And Don Staley said, "Look here, dude, I will beat you."
It was funny.
Most important question, not the most important question, but my most important question. What are we scoring Don Staley, Gino Smith? What's the scorecard looking like? I think she actually might have it. I think he's a lot older than her. I don't know exactly what the age
I
difference
don't
is,
know.
but
Don Staley, she's aging very well. So
y-
because it doesn't crack, baby. Let's go.
I
But
just I think she has a shot of hitting them pretty good. I don't know about what you guys think, but I think she might get them.
she beat his
I
ass
think is a great coach. I think it might be time one of those things. Like Coach K was, it might be time for him.
because maybe he's just not changing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Gino's
but
still really successful.
Gino didn't lose to North Carolina twice in a season. He had already done his retirement tour. Is Geno Smith Geno Smith? Sorry, is Geno Smith isn't getting a retirement tour. Gino Ariema, is he a retirement tour Coach K guy? Like where he goes around, everybody's going to give him a plaque of all the times he kicked their ass, and everybody's going to shake their hand and pretend like they don't completely hate him.
I think Gino's a little different. I mean, it's just his teams are so dominant for so long. Coach K was beatable. Gino didn't get beatable until NIL started to come around.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I think he's so with as many titles as he's won and how many he had 50 game winning streaks multiple times. Like I don't know how we don't give that dude his flowers at the end of the day. I
He
just
made
personally,
Did he not? Did he make the Hall of Fame in this last? Oh, we should
I
also
think,
talk about that real quick as well. I'm going to pull that up for us to talk about at the end.
I think he's already in.
Is he already in? That wouldn't shock me. Because is he the women's USA women's coach too?
No, that's
No,
Kara Lawson.
Okay. I always thought it was really interesting that Coach K got the men's coach role, but I actually think it kind of works for USA basketball. I digress. Anyway,
Gino no no Gino was the head coach though. He stepped down, and then
oh, okay.
Kara Lawson took over for him.
But he did for a while. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking at the Texas UCLA stats as well. Texas 30.8% from field.
that's not winning any games. I'm telling you.
2 of 5 from free throw. I saw 40% at first, and I was like, ooh. But yeah, 6 blocks for UCLA to 1. Yeah, that's tough. Oh, that reminds me. This stat reminds me. UConn, their defense holding Illinois to 2 assists in the game. The number 1 offense in college basketball.
Oh yeah, that was
Wow.
tough.
Wow. I forgot
That's
about
coaching.
that stat too.
That's coaching,
That
baby.
is
That's all
that is
coaching right there.
So, so South Carolina beats Gino
Mm.
and UConn. What was the actual final score of that game?
It was close. It came down to free throws at the end, but
Okay.
South Carolina was pretty much winning the entire game. So
Okay.
it was a close game. Gino's obviously a good coach, and he obviously had AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong, who was she was a National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So they had a good they had a good chance to come back and win that game. South Carolina buckled down on defense. Shots weren't falling, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was more so of the after game.
Yeah, the after game became the national story, which Gino tried to defend himself post game, and then the next day at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon was like, "Yeah, no, I was just being a petty bitch. I apologize." And the long and short.
So South Carolina was 18 for 22 from the free throw line in that game. UConn only shot 6 free throws. South Carolina only took 6 3-pointers. UConn was 6 for 21, shot 31% from the field.
Like I said,
And
shots were not falling.
no, yeah, UConn was up 2 at the half. They only scored 22 points combined in the second half.
Yeah,
Exactly. And at the end of the day, you're not going to win any games, especially against a good team. But South Carolina did a little bit too much eating before their cake was made, and
Yeah.
walked into that UCLA game and got smoked.
Yeah, I'm looking at this final now. By the way, UCLA, I mean, everyone, and I'm not, are very much should be more, up with women's basketball. I didn't know they were 37-1 on the season with this win today. I didn't know they were
UCLA
that.
was absolutely dominant this year.
I had no idea. I figured they were good. I didn't figure that they were like I feel like we would have heard if they were like a 10-seed Cinderella. But 37-1,
UConn
what a
was on
year.
that winning streak, and South Carolina was still there. So of course they were going to be
Yeah.
an afterthought.
Yeah. And perhaps they shouldn't have been. I'm looking at this third quarter, and which is the difference in the game. Outscored South Carolina 9-25.
That third quarter, right after halftime, brother, it was magical. And UCLA just started just dominating the game, and there was nothing South Carolina could do because they don't shoot the three like that.
Yeah.
UConn was on a 54 game winning streak when they lost to South Carolina, by the way.
So, yeah, UCLA being 37-1 was a afterthought, brother. Just an
That's
absolute
crazy.
afterthought.
That's crazy. Matt, I think that's such a shame.
Gino
They get
is
the last pop.
70. Gino is 72. So
Damn.
Dang, I did not know he was that old, but obviously the gray hair.
Hey, if it is the end for him, what a career. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, that's the best women's coach of all time, and it's not close. Best college women's coach of all time.
Dre, he's been the coach of UConn since 1985. So what is that? 40? Over 40, right?
A little bit over 40.
He's lost 166 games.
What's his win percentage?
88.6.
Oh my God.
He's only lost 64 conference games
in 40 years.
He has 90.8% winning percentage in conference.
Coach K probably has lost more conference games in 4 years.
Yeah,
I mean that's wow, that's insane. That's crazy.
Greatest women's coach of all time.
Congratulations to UCLA. I don't know, I'm not obviously in the locker room of South Carolina. I don't know if it was just that they got beat bad, or if they just, the end of the last game and how well they played against UConn was just
they thought that was
all
the
the
title
wind
game.
in their yeah, that I don't know what it was, but good season UCLA. Kind of a point you brought in earlier. Big Ten women's basketball championship, men's basketball championship, and obviously the NCAA tournament football champion as well. So, in 3 different programs: Michigan, UCLA, and Indiana. 2 of them actually original programs. UCLA, the famously Midwest University of California, Los Angeles. Well, does UCLA's women's coach bitch about having to go across the country for games, or is that just Mick Cronin?
I think it's just Nick Cronin, man.
It's just Mick Cronin? Got it. Okay, cool.
So hold on. To answer your question, or to answer your point, Sam, Krzyzewski lost 193 conference games.
That's still pretty crazy.
That's still crazy in its own right.
64 is fuck.
Krzyzewski had a 70% winning percentage in conference play. Gino has a 90.
God bless.
I just pulled up. I just pulled up his Wikipedia. 12 national championships, 25 Final Fours, 24 conference tournament championships in the Big East.
He can feel both hands and some toes.
AAC.
He can fit both hands and 2 toes with national championships.
In team sports, is he the winningest coach?
He has
all
to be.
time.
Has to be.
In team
it's not. I don't even think it's close.
There's not an NBA coach. There's not a MLB coach. Obviously, there's not a NHL coach. There's not.
Here's the other wild thing. His first year at UConn was a losing season at 12-15.
Really? And then he never looked back?
That's when he said, you know what? This losing thing is not for me.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm going to go get Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
So to keep it in perspective, he's lost 166 games in his career, 64 conference games. in his first 3 seasons, he lost 39 games and he lost 26 conference games.
So most of his losses were in the first 3 seasons.
Was it his first?
Those are the only 3 seasons he didn't make the NCAA tournament.
I don't know of any soccer coach. Maybe I'm missing somebody from way back when.
No, you're not.
You're no. I don't think there's anybody that's better than that. So Gino, whether this is the end or we're going to see you for another 10 years, congratulations, brother. I understand losing is hard, but
so USL Don Staley's 55, Gino 72.
So yeah, she's whooping that ass. She's taxing that.
She is. I wish that is Don Staley, Gino. If they would have thrown hands, obviously I hope that Gino wouldn't, as she is a lady. That would be incredibly horrible for his look and for everything. But if they threw hands, man, oh man,
Don Staley would give him a 2-piece combo, no drink.
It'd be so funny.
Don Staley's been to 8 Final Fours and won 3 titles.
Damn.
She has a winning percentage of 81.9% and is 80% in conference play for her career, and that includes when she coached at Temple.
Is it with NIL? I don't know like what women's basketball NIL looks like, but is there a chance for like a guy like say Becky Hammon? Could she go to like a program that's willing to invest in their women's basketball? Like I don't know, what would be a good school to toss out that would be, interesting.
I have a hot take with Becky Hammond.
What is it?
I think she leaves the Aces to take UConn when Gino steps down.
Don't you dare put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us.
I think that she hasn't tried to pursue the NBA like people think. I think she's either obviously I think she's happy here, but I think she's probably candidate number 1 and number 2 if Gino.
She's a champion here. She doesn't need to leave, Cooper. She has the best player in the league.
But she's also a UConn alum and a coach, and
he has so many other options that could take over. I'm sorry.
Not like Becky though.
You right. You ain't lying. You is not lying at all. Because Becky Hammond is the truth.
I had not thought about that.
That's my because if you've noticed, the NBA, her trying to get an NBA job's kind of cooled down.
Yeah.
Even though she's still been winning like crazy with the Aces.
That would be very impressive. Is there anything else from watching the South Carolina UCLA game? I mean, just a 28-point loss in a national championship where you're getting dominated is crazy coming off the game they did. But UCLA also is a little surprised that UCLA, this is their first women's national championship. A school like UCLA feels like they've won a national championship in everything from chess to football, They
have 126 of them.
Yeah, and there's such a big program, and it's LA, so women's sports is for sure was prioritized. I'm just very shocked by it.
I mean, Gino's been as long as Gino's still coaching, man, ain't nobody touching the national championship like that. That's where I'm not surprised that UCLA, this is their first one. Gino's been doing it since the 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
Gino's been he's been kicking ass and taking names since the 90s.
And when he hasn't won, it's basically been the lady that was in charge of Tennessee all those years and had Candace Parker,
Pat Summitt.
Yeah. When Gino wasn't in it, there was Pat Summitt. So there's been
and now you're throwing in Don Staley. If she's not winning, it's going to be Don Staley.
So exactly.
Can we talk about the downfall real quick of Tennessee and how sad that is?
That's so sad, dude. They lost all their recruits, every single one of them.
Women's or as a football not really basketball, but they can't make a Final Four in men's. As a football and women's basketball program, or just women's basketball?
Women's. They
lost all their recruits.
That coach that took over, they should fire the girl that took over for Pat Summitt, but they lost all of their recruits today. They have 0 players on their roster. Nobody wants to play for them anymore.
Really?
None. Not one. Their last one went to the transfer portal just a couple minutes ago.
So
she's literally got to build 15 players. She literally has to go find 15 people to want to play for Tennessee, and I don't think they're going to want to do that.
So So it obviously isn't in term. They're not thinking in terms of what the program is. It has to be the coach then.
There is no other reason it could be.
Yeah, because you
If
can't look.
all of your players leave, you got to look at the head of the snake.
Yeah, you can't look at that program or the town of, you know, Knoxville or anything about Tennessee where people would want to do that. That's
And
crazy. I had no idea.
Candace Parker has a podcast too. And where's her application for Tennessee? So that coach must be in the wrong, because
Yeah,
if Candace Parker can't even have a good enough name, like, that's history there for Tennessee.
yeah,
Like, if Candace Parker can't convince you to come to Tennessee, nobody will. So at the end of
yeah.
the day, that coach has got to go. That's just
You know,
I'm
you know,
surprised
if
that they haven't gotten rid of her already at that point.
he's about to have the same problem, Dre.
really.
They had 13 guys on their roster. They had 13 scholarship guys last year because they misbudgeted with NIL, so they only had 13 instead of 15. They had 4 guys graduate. They currently have 5 guys in the portal, so they've lost 9. But they have 3 that haven't made a decision yet, and they only have 1 that's announced that they're returning.
Okay,
And
let me go sign up for UNLV basketball then.
Hey, I tried to convince a few friends to Ooey Pooey, which is one of the most funny college nicknames. University of Indiana of Purdue or something, colloquially named as Ooey Pooey. Um, they were hosting open tryouts for their basketball team as a Division I program at one point.
That's scary.
Yeah. Oh man. Obviously, we're probably not going to see that with Tennessee or even UNLV, but
Shoot, man, with the way that women's program looking, she might have to hold an open tryout.
she might. Well,
If you're good enough, I'll give you a scholarship.
I hope that Tennessee gets it back. I'm no fan of Tennessee, especially their football team or their men's basketball team, but it was cool. The Pat Summitt effect at Tennessee was very cool to see.
Pat Summitt was amazing.
Anything else that we want to talk about with this women's national championship? Congrats to UCLA and
Yeah, shout out to UCLA, and I just want our viewers to know that we do all sports around here, baby. I'm gonna
we
need y'all
do.
to get more well versed in women's basketball.
We
That's
do.
all I'm gonna say.
I 100% will. It would help if the University of Missouri did not suck.
hey, Dre, Aces
Yep.
winning. Are they three-peating? They gonna win
I don't
again?
know, man. That is extremely difficult to do, and that is so hard. All those healthy teams. I don't know. Asia Wilson is no doubt best player in the league, but to three-peat, that is extremely difficult.
She's
I
not the
wouldn't be
favorite.
surprised.
She's the betting market has Caitlin Clark watered
Caitlin
down
Clark,
to win MVP.
I know.
No, to win MVP, I'd put my money on Asia.
I'd put all my chips on Asia, because she's going to come up in there and average a smooth 25 and 12. And that's just what she does every single night. There hasn't been a woman that could stop her, but the league is getting better, bigger, and the Aces, they're getting thinner and thinner. It seems like they run maybe 7, 8 deep, and that wears on you, man. Chelsea Gray, who knows how long those knees are going to hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard to do that.
When is the playoffs start, or have they started
For women?
The women's they haven't even
Their
had their
season
draft
hasn't
yet.
even started. They didn't even have their draft yet.
Okay.
See, more well versed, Sam. Oh,
I was kidding. Well, I looked on ESPN because I was
good
like,
God.
they're in the off season, right?
Yeah.
And then I looked and they have the standings and like a bunch of teams there. It's all like eliminated or clinched. And I'm like, wait,
That was last year.
yeah, I missed.
Last year, my
Okay,
guy.
there we go. We're good now. Okay, we're back.
So Sam, if you want to recap of how last year went, the Aces were at about 500 until they decided to win like 18 games in a row.
It was like
which helps. I am familiar with especially Asia Wilson, but they also have who else?
They had Chelsea Gray.
Jewel
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Okay. Yeah.
They put belt to
Chelsea
ass
Gray's,
to the They put belt to ass to the Mercury in the finals.
Yeah.
Belt to ass, baby. And that's the way we're supposed to do it every single time. I love it. I loved it.
So Angel Reese was traded today for picks to Atlanta?
Atlanta, the dream. Yep.
Okay. So how much does that help Atlanta? I see they got third last year.
They needed some more presence inside. They have the scoring ability to do so. Rhea Howard is their best player.
Okay.
And she's She's dominant. Love her. And let me make sure that's her name. Let me hold on.
Ryan Howard, I'm seeing.
Ryan Howard. I knew it wasn't. I must say, dude, I'm not saying that right. My bad.
It's Rhyne.
Yeah,
And
she's absolute stuff.
is Brittany Griner at the age of 35 still playing a lot of minutes? Because Brittany Griner and Angel Reese in a backcourt for women's basketball feels like pretty good.
I haven't
I'm
seen
not
Brittany Griner play at a high level since she came back from Russia, man, to be honest with
okay.
you.
Okay, got it.
She could still be that dominant force in the middle, but I just haven't seen it with what I've watched.
Okay.
Last year she averaged 9.8 points and five rebounds a game.
Yeah, like, ever since she came back, and I don't know what effect that had on her because it had to have had a big one. You just gotta, if that backcourt stays healthy, they needed more presence inside, rebounding, and that's what Angel Reese does. She can rebound the crap out of that basketball, and she can finish around the rim a little bit. So, that's a really good move. The Dream needed to make something shake because they're close. They're very close, and so I like the move a lot.
It feels, from what I'm reading, it feels a little Rodman to the Bulls-ish. I know that Angel Reese seems unwilling to accept.
Are you talking about? I'm sorry, you mean Andre Drummond to the Bulls?
Yeah, sorry. It feels like Angel Reese has been unwilling to accept the idea that, especially in the WNBA, she's not quite the possible MVP candidate that she kind of thinks she is. But I mean, she is still clearly a very, very good player. And I knew about the rebounding, but yeah, that's good. And then the Sky Gip picks. Did any other trades happen, or was that the basic marquee one?
That was the marquee one that I can remember.
Okay.
So if you're looking at it from a perspective of betting odds to win the championship, the Aces are the favorite. The Minnesota Lynx are second, Indiana Fever third, Liberty fourth, Atlanta Dream fifth.
If you want to put some money on them, put them on the Liberty because they have Bree Stewart and Ionescu, and that's a dangerous combo. But the Lynx, those those girls are nice. Nafisha Collier is she's a beast.
Okay.
She's a beast.
Got it. UConn, of course.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of UConn players in these rosters. Weird how that works.
Hey, man.
So wait. Is this basically just like if the NBA back with who was the most dominant team in college basketball in like the 50s and 60s? UCLA?
Now that I don't.
Well, I would assume so. That was Wooden, right?
Yeah, probably. Kareem.
No, I'm sorry. You mean Lou Alcindor?
Lou Alcindor, please.
Lou Alcindor, true. Sorry, Kareem, the artist formerly known as Lou Alcindor. I apologize.
That'd be like Bill Walton.
Yeah, it was UCLA back then.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's kind of similar to that, where there's just been one program, but I mean, 40 years is unbeatable run. Yeah, no, I will definitely be. I don't watch a lot admittedly outside of the Indiana Fever, but I am familiar with a lot of the best players. I will be tuning in more. So when does the season start?
You need to watch the summer. It's in the summer. That's always summertime. And you need to watch the Liberty. You need to watch the Lynx. Obviously, you need to watch the Aces.
Okay. I'll be tuning in. I will, as people might have guessed, be a little busy this summer. I got a lot of soccer to cover. We're gonna have a fun episode coming up probably in the next couple of days where I recap the end of the World Cup qualifying at the Sam King Reese show. I'll talk about the failure of Italy.
So Dre, they play 45. They play 45 regular season games. They have the Aces win total at 32.5.
Ooh. Damn.
That's a lot of wins. That's a lot of W's. Because the Chelsea Gray is really the perfect complement to Asia. She's a great point guard and she can score the basketball. They sometimes call her like the Kyrie Irving of the WNBA because she has handle out the world. The point goddess.
Yeah, she's
the point goddess.
No, they call her the point guard.
Well, I'm trying to damn it, Coop.
Dre, are we going to go to an Aces game this year?
If that's an insulting question, if I've ever heard one, are you going to come with me? Because I go to Aces games, sir.
I went to 2 last year. They happened to play. They happened to play when they played the Sky at T-Mobile, and I forget the other one I went to. They blew the both games they went to. They won by 20. So
And so it's a great watch. You have a couple brewskis and you call it a day.
What has European has international players gotten to the WNBA in the same way that the NBA has had a lot of European influence, or not at all yet?
they're
Purely American.
They're starting to.
They're
Okay.
they're
Not as
coming,
not
but
not
it's
not as much, but they're
not
starting
at the
to.
high of a clip.
It's the same. So it's the reason why like U.S. soccer women have been dominant so long, but other countries are actually starting to invest in their women's soccer. So now it's getting much harder for our women. But we were the only ones that were investing, so that's why we were the best for so long. Speaking of Dennis Rodman, his daughter Trinity Rodman's a very, very good player for the U.S. women's national team.
Oh, that is right. I forgot his daughter played for USA. I forgot.
Yep. Runs in the family, man.
It runs in the family. She's a beast.
She is.
Oh my God, guys.
Any other WNBA talk?
Nope.
No,
That's all
not at the moment. I'm out of the list, guys.
Yeah. My final thought is another March Madness gone. It feels like it was forever ago when the game started, but at the same time, it feels like another season that passed so quickly. Excited for NBA playoffs to start soon.
It's coming to that real dry part, that real dry, where it's just only baseball and WNBA hoops.
We have NHL playoffs, which are a great playoff, and we have a World Cup this summer at home.
You know what? You're right.
So we're more blessed than usual. You got that. You have that July through August where it's just a whole lot of baseball, like 2 NFL trades and college, like 1 college.
Where I'm looking forward
rumor.
to both drafts, and then after that, it's just the driest 3 months of my life.
Hey, you guys are about to get the Athletics. Have fun.
I'm so excited for baseball.
Yeah, the Cardinals have gotten off to a great start, so I'm excited for baseball too. But we got an NBA playoff.
The Red Sox are the worst team in the league right now.
Yeah, have fun with Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras, buddy.
Wilson Contreras had to fight somebody today.
I did see his brother had to stop him. It's because his brother was behind the dish for the Brewers. Oh man.
But all right, guys, we'll go ahead and call it at that. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, please. As I mentioned before, I am DeAndre Henderson. We were all with Sam and my boy Coop. You guys have a blessed night, and let's get ready for the NBA playoff, the NHL playoff, the start of the WNBA season, baseball, World Cup, soccer. Need I go on? Nah. All right, then. Have a great night.
Like and subscribe.